Hello, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Welcome back to the Mystic Hawk YouTube channel. Spirit woke me up a couple of days ago and informed me it was time to do some sun sign readings, do a midsummer check-in for you guys. There's a lot going on in the world right now, and Spirit really has asked me, put me into action to do some readings for you guys, to do a little bit of a check-in. So Aquarius, I'm gonna just kind of jump into it, right now, real quick with the Beyond Lemuria card. I picked these three cards out here to get the foundation of your reading, get the basic information of where this reading is going to go. So this is what the ancestors and spirit guides wanted you to know. We got here the crystal keys. If you see this in Beyond Lemuria, hey, crystals are right up my alley here at the Mystic Hawk and the Mystic Hawk crystals, right? These are talking about Lemurian seed crystals, which, I have some available. Check it out down below, Mystic Hawk crystals. Thank all of you very much from the bottom of my heart, all of you that have bought the crystals from me. It really does help to, provide a way for me to go and get more crystals for you and to do these videos for you as well to help keep you informed in my own special, unique way. From Spirit. Now, these crystal keys, much like the Lemurian seed crystals that have all this information from the Lemurians trying to give us this information to help to guide us so that we don't make the same mistakes that they did in the past, and in particular getting triggered by our dark sides. Okay, so the keys, these crystals, just like crystals hold key codes, our subconscious and our emotions hold the keys and codings, within our shadow. A lot of people want to avoid the shadow or do the shadow work and get rid of the shadow and all of that, as opposed to honoring the shadow for the great and amazing teacher that it is, honoring the shadow for holding some very valuable information that has been stored from our childhood or even from past lives. And these keys can give us access to insights about how we have been in certain patterns. Because when we get triggered, just imagine, when you get triggered, you have, especially for Aquarians or any air sign out there, but Aquarians in particular, who are known to be these detached people, you can get very emotionally triggered sometimes. And when these triggers come up, it's a big insight for you as to, wow, this really brought up a really powerful emotional reaction. I wonder what that is about. Why am I allowing myself to be triggered in this way? And I'm feeling for a lot of you, these triggers are related to the family relationships or early childhood relationships, and how you brought that into relating into your present circumstances, whether being a young adult or middle-aged or even older. You realize that you have continued these patterns from childhood on about how you relate to the opposite sex, the same sex, how you get energy, how there's energy exchange between you and another. Do you do it in an honest, open way? Does it flow freely, or is there power struggles involved? Do you have to pull it out of another person pulls it out of you? What kind of situations have you found yourself enmeshed in the past that you would like to break free from? And guess what? These triggers are going to let you know what you need to break free from. So if you felt triggered by some people in the past, or recently, it has to do with being triggered in the past. Now, this, of course, has to do with these family connections, the multiple generations, also community, the people around you. If it wasn't from your family, it could be in school or church or whatever community organizations that you were a part of, or just, your town in general. It's all about the traditions and stuff. Of course, Aquarians, you like to break free and out of these traditions, so you may have felt hemmed in the past and were a rebel against the rebel, with or without a cause. You were a rebel to to when you got triggered by these situations, especially when you felt hemmed in or you weren't allowed to express your uniqueness and your own individuality in that particular situation. That's where you would get triggered and act out. The Condor card brings up you're too enmeshed in this situation, so step back and see the bigger picture before making any decisions or taking action. And what I'm seeing for a group of you, of course, this is a general reading, Aquarius, but what I see for the collective Aquarians is some of you maybe call back home or find yourself in a situation where you have to go back and relate to some people or some family of the past. Maybe go back to the old homestead, go back to the old hometown that you haven't been to in a long time. And that's bringing up some issues that you feel like you're really enmeshed in that situation. Of course, family can very much get you into those situations. But again, it's up to you how you react and respond. And if you find yourself coming into this really fiery response, they're saying take a step back. You're too involved and too enmeshed in all this stuff going on, and you need to really step back and say, hey, when this person says this or does this or whatever the trigger is, it sends me off into this area. But basically, when I do that, I'm losing my power. I'm leaking power. They're taking it from me. And if I want to keep my power to myself, I have to really do what I can actually control. Or you saying, this is what you say to yourself. What can I control in this situation? I can control my reactions. My actions and reactions. I can't control other people's actions or reactions, but I can control how I deal with it. And another thing it is talking about, what the Condor talks about is something that you Aquarians are pretty adept at, and that is, let me read a little bit from the book because I really want to talk about it. It's talking about detachment and not being cold or like, I don't want to have anything to do with you, but just kind of pulling yourself back from the situation and going back into that Aquarian detached. I'm going to look at this from above and observe the situation. So this is what the Condor, one of the couple paragraphs it has to say about this. Very valuable information. True detachment is objective compassion. Okay, objective compassion. A state of mind and heart where you still care very much, but are distanced enough so that you are not under the illusion that you can somehow control the situation or person through your participation or intervention. Okay? So we're not trying to control the situation or the person by being in the middle of it, getting so enmeshed and involved in the situation. In any situation or conversation, follow these 4 simple guidelines. First, be 100% present and attentive. So when that person's talking, you give them your complete attention. You really listen to what they have to say without thinking about what you're going to say in response. So try your best to be completely attentive. Second, speak your truth or maintain a dignified silence. Depending on the situation, use your discretion. So when it's your turn, speak your truth if you feel like you can. If not, be quiet, keep quiet. And third, keep the focus on what's really important and what really matters. So if a conversation goes off in tangents or goes off in this and that and the other thing and happened in the past, say, let's get back to what's important. What are we talking about here? What's really important, what really matters in this situation. And fourth, let go of any attachment to the outcome. We're just sitting here having a conversation. I don't know how it's going to turn out. It may turn out really great. It may turn out, and it may turn out really terrible. Hopefully it won't turn out terrible because you're managing your reactions. Okay. So it says these 4 steps will help you to keep your perspective while remaining compassionately involved and detached at the same time. So compassionately involved and detached at the same time. You can still wield your influence by stating your preferences, whether strong or mild in this situation, without insisting on getting your way. State your preferences without insisting that you get your way. Express yourself and see what happens, all the while honoring and expressing others. Okay, so I really feel that you guys, this is a relationship thing. We're coming up to Leo season, which is your seventh house. So it's going to be bringing up, as we come into the end of July into August, there's going to be a lot of relational issues here, and this is going to give you a little bit of information and ammunition. Okay, on how to deal with these situations and how to navigate them. And again, like, it's time to remove those buttons and to step back, because if we're really enmeshed and involved in wanting to control the situation and other people, that's where the problems begin, right there. So go into that Aquarian detachment. Let's see what the tarot cards have to say. Oh, by the way, this is a general reading. It may or may not resonate for all you Aquarians out there, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mars, Venus, you name it. If you would like a personal reading, they are available and they're 25% off. Check it out. My website is all light and bright and cleaned up. You can go crystal shopping. You can go to the crystal readings section, where all of the crystal readings, that includes the pre-recorded video readings or my crystal readings, where you actually receive a crystal that's charged up with the reading that I give you. Those, for those of you in the United States, only because the shipping is just so outrageous internationally. What I do for international people, so you get an audio recording in the crystal, those of you in the United States, and for those of you that are overseas, unless you make arrangements with some shipping or something like that, I go ahead and just give you a video recording, because the live readings are done via Zoom. This is where I interact with you. We talk back and forth. We do some coaching, counseling. We read the cards. We talk to the ancestors, guides, loved ones from the other side. It's very, very powerful. So international will get a video of that. And those in the United States will get audio and a crystal sent to your house that's charged up for the reading. Speaking of crystals, if you want to learn more about quartz crystals, check out the all-new crystal guide that I have on my website. So that's absolutely free, and I will be adding to it. It's just in its basic form right now, but it tells you all about the crystals, like Isis crystals, dolphin crystals, rainbow crystals, Lemurian crystals, you name it. Whatever there is about quartz crystals is a great little guide for that. So there you go, folks. 25% off right now for a reading. And here we go, just in time to do the transition. We have a King of Wands. I don't know if you're dealing with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or you're just in a real a masculine, go out there and go for it, creative energy. Maybe you're starting a new project. One of the people that you may be dealing with could be a fire sign, possibly a Leo. I keep feeling that opposite energy, so that may or may not be true, but there's some fiery energy. You may have some fire in your chart. We have the reverse Six of Cups, so there's been some kind of delay about some travel to go actually see family. So there has been some travel delays. It could be with the airports, it could be with the gas prices, you name it. So there have been some plans to go and visit somebody from the past. This could be a relationship or like a past life relationship, but I really do feel in this particular case it is family, and there has been a delay about making that trip. And there's a reason for that delay, because the last time, some of you, again, this may not resonate with all you Aquarians, but for some of you out there, there was kind of an incident, maybe an argument, triggers did happen. We got the reverse Five of Swords kind of coming out of that. It's not so nasty. Maybe there's been some time that has passed after this argument has occurred, perhaps with this King of Wands or this fire sign person, where you decided, I'm not doing this, and you went into hangman mode and perhaps haven't even communicated with this person. It could be an estranged friend, family member, boss, co-worker, you name it, whoever it is that is triggering you. It could be a father figure. King of Wands is often a father, but if your father isn't still with us, it could be someone that is a lot like him that kind of represents that. Also, a boss, we have the Three of Pentacles, we got the Tower card. So, something may have happened around a work situation that created a tower, created a trigger, but it could go back to the original masculine figure in your life and how you interacted, say, with your father, your grandfather, or some kind of authority figure like in school or something like that. I do see you really working on things, but again, there was this hangman situation. Again, it could be a work situation. Let's see what else it has to say. There's definitely a tower is happening. So if that tower has not already happened, this is a warning, trigger warning. Aquarius, really start managing your triggers. And if you know that there's somebody around you that sets you off, you need to take measures to get out of that situation. You have found out some information. We have the reverse moon card and the reverse Five of Wands. Very nice to see the fives reversed. Now, the moon card in reverse is saying something has come to light, some kind of secret, something has come out about a situation that might have been really triggering. I mean, especially when it comes to family, there can be some stuff come out that, you know, can really ignite some passion, so to speak, that I see in this reverse Five of Wands. Now, the reverse Five of Wands means that things have calmed down a little bit. Maybe there were some heated discussions, but after the discussions happen, maybe there's some clarity. This may or may not have happened to you because every Aquarian is on a different timeline, but I do see a lot of conflict going on. I don't know if it was actually physical violence, but definitely some verbal situations and with a lot of powerful, fiery emotions behind them. And it has to do with some kind of secret or information that has come out. It could be that you're just finding stuff out about your own self with the shadow. Page of Pentacles, that is information coming along about some situation that involves a physical reality, whether it be your health, it could be physical property, could be some property involved, job, money situation, you name it. But something is going on here where you feel like you were really ripped off because we have the Seven of Swords here. So, there might have been thieving or someone stealing intellectual property. While you were in the hangman position, that's kind of what I'm seeing, because we got the hangman here kind of feeling suspended, kind of feeling like nothing's going anywhere. You're just waiting on something. And it may have been you planning your escape. But I do see it has to do with this business and you being able to be financially stable. So I don't know what this deception energy, definitely some deception going on, and that deception being uncovered. But what it will lead you to is being more financially independent, or just independent in the world in general. Being able to take care of yourself and to maintain, perhaps even stepping up into your business if if you're a small business owner or entrepreneur. Whoa, a lot of Scorpio energy. Some of you may be dealing with Scorpio because we have the Tower and the Death card all together. So I'm seeing fire, Scorpio, any of the fire signs: Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, and perhaps some earth signs. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But I see real strong, some of you may be dealing with a Scorpio, which you're squared off with Scorpio. So that's already a squaring energy and a whole lot of fiery passion ending of a situation. So you might have found yourself really ending a real karmic situation here, and walking away, having to walk away from something, even if it seemed like it was financially flush, so to speak, but really the payoff that came along with it just wasn't worth it. Some of you may have to walk away from those situations. Oops. A couple more cards here. We have the reverse Ten of Swords. So somebody got really stabbed in the back. I mean, really stabbed in the back that it really stunned you so bad, the fool couldn't move forward. Kept you from making a great leap off of a cliff. This also can represent being afraid to jump out into the unknown, being afraid to leave that comfort zone and step out into something more beautiful, and step away from people always ripping you off and starting shit with you and stabbing you in the back. So it's really time to just leave that situation, that group of people altogether, and find some new and better people to relate to that's not so karmic. But again, this could be something where it may be an unavoidable situation. We have, people are born, people get married, people die. Those are usually times when the family comes together for whatever reason, and there may be a need to go back, and those situations are going to be waiting for you, Aquarius. Keep in mind. We also have the World card reversed. Now, the Karma or Judgment card, that's Archangel Gabriel there, did also kind of come out reversed, but then it flipped back over. So there's an opportunity to clear up some karma and to flip this World card around so you can end the cycle by avoiding this situation and not wanting to deal with this situation, maybe even keeping your distance, not talking to the person, keeping that silence through the Hangman. Yeah, you may be creating more karma for yourself. So I really feel like the universe is wanting you to clear this stuff up so that you can move on and end this cycle. Otherwise, if you hold that same stubborn stance, or whoever else it is that is holding that stubborn stance, it could just perpetuate a bad situation. But there needs to be there's definitely going to be some kind of closure one way or another. There may actually have been a death that brought you back. It could have been a traumatic one or a sudden one out of the blue kind of situation that brings you back to something. There is a Queen of Wands, so there's this person that's connected to your money. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. The Queen of Wands, that's a fire energy. She could be a boss, could be a co-worker, could be helpful in the situation. Again, there's so many of you out there, it's hard to say in your specific situation, but in general, this is also using your intuition and your creativity to really bring something about in the business. I see that you guys are really dealing with a lot of different things. You're trying to deal with work or run your own business and keep that going, keep it afloat, because there's been one thing after another with that, and then all these people come in and bring a lot of drama, just a lot of crap and drama into your life. And it's a Scorpio. I mean, if it's not a Scorpio, it's a Cancer or a Pisces, but we have the Knight of Cups right below the Tower and the Death card, which pretty much is telling me some of you are absolutely dealing with Scorpio and a lot of drama in that situation. Somebody that triggers you big time. Could be a Leo, because that's another squaring energy that can trigger us, and they often trigger us into active situations. The Knight of Cups can also, out of this, out of the rubble, out of the ashes rises the phoenix, and there's a new opportunity to rise above the situation. Sever your vows of poverty is what this is saying. So maybe this poverty consciousness is connected to all these past people. Dear one, there's no need to suffer or sacrifice. Hold the intention of doing any vows of poverty or self-denial that you may have made, consciously or unconsciously, in any lifetime. As you do so, all effects of these vows will be undone for everyone involved in all directions of time. So you can help your whole family out with that one, just by severing your personal vows of poverty. And you may have made them in another lifetime. You might have been a priest or whatever reason you decided to take a vow of poverty. That's the only reason I know that people do. And no, by the way, spirituality doesn't mean that we have to be broke. Again, actually, it's a way that Spirit wants us to enhance our lives through abundance. Keep dropping these cards on the floor. So what is it about the dropping of the money cards? These are angels of abundance. Release jealousy. It says releasing jealousy. Jealousy is an affirmation that you don't have something. So it could be jealousy within this work situation, friend group, or family. It says clearing debts. Self-care involves removing a heavy burden of financial and emotional debts from your life. Of course, we know everybody thinks of credit card debt or anything like that right away. And of course, that is absolutely something to be focused on. But it's also about emotional debts. Just thinking about carrying this weight, carrying this resentment of this person with Scorpio or King of Wands, King or Queen of Wands, whoever you felt like betrayed you and ripped you off, whatever that situation is. Carrying those resentments around for you is a really heavy debt. It really weighs you down and blocks a lot of your prosperity and forward movement. So definitely it's very important to release that. And just remind it, there's no need to be jealous of other people. I mean, if you see them doing better than you, or it could be other people being jealous of your situation. But just, step back and let that go. One of the things I wanted to say, Aquarius, I want to send my blessings to you for the month. May you have blessings. Thank you for making this far through the reading. At the end of the reading, what I do now is I like to bless the situation. And I just want to send blessings. If it's obviously there's going to be some kind of ending and clearing out here, and may it go as peacefully and with what much ease as possible. May you elevate and move into a higher level of consciousness and leave behind those old cycles so that you can know true prosperity and true happiness as your financial and your emotional and your karmic debts are being cleared, because I very much see these karmic debts as allow them to be cleared out and allow your cosmic registers, what I'm hearing, to come into balance. So may you be blessed in these areas, and also blessed with the illumination and the information of these amazing crystal keys, these amazing key codes that are coming to you through your triggers. May they serve you well. Many, many blessings. Thank you, Aquarius. I'll see you next time. Bye bye now.